So in entrepreneurship, timing is everything. Do you want to learn the secrets to rapid growth and success? Stay tuned, because I'm going to reveal proven strategies and the tactics that you're going to need to be the top entrepreneur that you were born to be. And we're going to also use these same tactics to achieve rapid growth. Now, I know there's no get-rich-quick scenarios, but there are ways to get there much faster. So let's dive in. The first thing, now this, for some of you, might not seem like it's important, but I assure you, this 100% is key to you making it to the finish line on your goals of rapid growth. And here it is. You got to take care of yourself. There, I said it. That's it. We're done. All done. That's all you need to do. Take care of yourself. Just kidding. So when I say take care of yourself, I mean physically and mentally. Now, I'm going to tell a couple stories here, but let me just tell you about my story. So I used to be a pro snowboarder, and when I was a pro snowboarder, I trained hard. Most people think we just train on the hill, but off the hill, I would run. I was always stretching. I would meditate to mentally get myself clear. When I got to the resort for a contest or a photo shoot or anything we were doing, I would spend the whole morning stretching, getting my legs warmed up. I had a whole routine that I would go through. And when I became a coach after my career ended, I also taught them these same things. Because you know what? I know they don't like doing it, especially the kids that I was coaching. They hated stretching. They hated the morning warm-ups. They just wanted to jump on the lift, get up there, and start riding. But you know what? That isn't the way that top performers do it. They mentally get themselves healthy too. You see, when you start stretching and breathing, you slow everything down. You mentally start to picture things and get visual on what it is you want, because there's really nothing else to do when you're stretching. You just breathe, and I would walk them through this exercise. You stretch, and as you do that, I would just say, I want you to think about what you're going to do when you hit the jump. And we'd walk through different things. You know, I want you to envision yourself doing a back five. I want you to envision yourself, going off that heel side wall. We would just walk through a bunch of stuff, because when they're doing that, they're breathing, they're slowing down. So now that vision gets crystal clear. You've heard this before about people that mentally see things before they even do them. I mean, I don't care if it's in music, they envision themselves playing the guitar, the drums, playing an instrument. It's true. You mentally can picture yourself doing something. And if you get really clear at doing this, when you do it, you're going to do it exactly how you envisioned it. Now, it takes a lot of practice, but you can't do physical activities if you're not physically in shape. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's simple. Go to the gym. But I also like what Terje Haakensen did, and I might have said his name a little wrong, but he's one of my favorite, most iconic snowboarders of all time. He doesn't work out in a gym. He works out by playing, as what he calls it. I had him on my podcast. You should check that episode out. He refers to it as playing soccer, going out and skateboarding, wake surfing, whatever it is. That's how he stays fit. Now, I go to the gym and I do, a lot of exercises, not trying to push a ton of weight to get the big biceps and the big chest, but I want my body to still be strong. I'm 45. And some days, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm 20 again. It's because I physically train. You know who else knows a thing or two about this? Billionaires. One specifically, Richard Branson. Now, I've told this story before, but Richard Branson, he's got an island, as you all know, and he brings people out there, his top executives out there, and he takes them through this whole thing. And every single morning, what they do is they go for runs and they work out. For hours, they do this. And a lot of the people, one in particular, Scott, my original mentor, told me how he did this. And when Scott got there, he wasn't a big workout guy. And he just thought it was funny and strange that that's what they spent so much time doing, is working out and running and doing all these exercises. He's like, shouldn't we be getting into meetings? Like, shouldn't we talk about like this airline and all this stuff? Like, let's get to it. But when he questioned one of Richard Branson's top executives as to, hey, not for nothing, but why do we do this every morning when we're here? Do you guys always do this? They explained that exactly what I just said. You have to physically and mentally stay healthy. Otherwise, you can't perform at the levels that we need to perform at. Every entrepreneur and every top performer performs these exact same things. And if they don't, well, Your body's going to let go and you're not going to be able to stay at the top. You're going to get tired. You're mentally going to be very distraught. So that is the first thing. That's why I spend some time on it. But the second thing is just as important. Hard times make strong men and women. You know, the late Stephen Arnio, who was a friend of mine, wrote a book. It was called Hard Times Create Strong Men. And he did another one, Hard Times Create Strong Women. Same principles. Right now, we're in weak times. Things have gotten too easy for a lot of us. But I assure you, we're going to go into hard times. Think back to world wars, World War II specifically. Our grandparents that went through that period, they were hardened. They were hard men. And the wives and the women, they were strong women because they had to go through hard times. Now, although today, times are different, but they won't always be. We're going to have to go back through hard times, and those hard times are going to forge strong men and women once again, strong leaders once again. So how does that parlay back to what we're talking about, or how you can achieve rapid growth? Get strong. I don't mean physically or mentally. We already covered that, but I mean understand that you have to prepare for hard times. Don't think that things are always going to be easy. You really need to mentally get prepared and just prepare your surroundings for what could be happening, which are going to be hard times. I don't know what they're going to be because I can't predict the future. But I think there's a lot that could be said about that. So check that book out, Hard Times Create Strong Men by Stephen Arnio. Moving on. Do what others are unwilling to do. I think this one is the fastest way you're going to hit success and the fastest way to rapid growth. And here's the easiest way I can tell you this. In the early 2000s, I was a pro snowboarder and I was running skateboard and snowboard shops called Fat Man Board Shops, PHAT. Everything was perfect. I was literally in fantasy land because I was doing what I loved. I was running shops. It was a lifestyle business that allowed me to snowboard when I wanted, come back and work in a snowboard skateboard shop. How cool, right? But when the dot-com recession hit, I fell on hard times. And I had to make hard decisions. I needed to get a job. And I landed, of all places for a pro snowboarder and a shop owner to land, I landed in Wall Street. I'm not going to give you the whole story, but I do want to tell you one thing. I remember being there in the first firm I was at. I was in the bullpen, which is just a bunch of cubicles in the center. When you're looking around the outside of the office, it was all these glass offices where all the bigwigs sat. You know, the managing partner was up there, and the top producer was right next to him in the biggest office, and on it went. And I'd always look at these guys and, I'd like, wow, how much money do they make? Wow, that guy makes $300,000. That guy makes $1.4 million. That guy makes $800,000. And these were numbers at that time. I was 23 years old that were so out of control to me to even fathom making that much that literally it was just like, wow. How many of you have ever been there? When you literally see somebody making $1 million and you're like, oh man, that's crazy. But here's the thing I want to talk about. You have to do what other people are unwilling to do. So back to Wall Street. So while I was in the cubicle, my job was to dial for dollars. I would call people and connect them with the people in the corner offices. But I'd watch these guys and gals in the corner offices, and they'd get there 8:30 at the earliest, sometimes 9:30, right when the market opened. They'd leave for lunch for an hour, 2 hours, and then they'd come back, and they'd only work till 4:30, and they were gone. By 5 o'clock, it was a ghost town in that office. So I started to think to myself, if I want one of those offices, all I really need to do is do what they're unwilling to do. It seemed logical. So I started getting there at 7:30 in the morning. Got all my paperwork ready. And then I'd do my regular thing, and when everybody left for lunch, I pounded the phones. And I set appointments. And then 4:35, when they left, guess what I did? I left too, but I went to the client's house, and I sat at their kitchen table, and I did business. And you know what happened? I became the #1 New Org rep that year. In my first year, this is 2003, I made $74,000. The next year, I made 6 digits. The next year, higher 6 digits. And it kept going and going. And guess what? After 3 years, I had one of those offices. It wasn't the biggest one, but I had one. Because I did what everybody else was unwilling to do. All the other New Org reps that were in there, they were doing the same thing I was, but they showed up when everybody else did. They just followed the leaders. Where me, I did the hard work. Not that they weren't doing the hard work, but I did more of it. I did everything I could to be one of those guys, and I did become one. Moving on to number 4. I think this one can be best summed up by somebody you all know, Tom Brady, the most winningest quarterback in history. But here's the thing you don't maybe know about Tom Brady. There's a couple things. Number one, Tom Brady, he's that guy that always does more. Now, let me give you the first thing that he did. He's a first with many things, but he always wanted to be the first one in the gym. And there's stories left and right about this, but he would get to the gym when nobody else was there, and he'd be leaving when all the rest of the guys were showing up. But then some of the guys would see this, and they're like, all right, Tom, I'm going to beat you to the gym. So they'd get to the gym the next day. Tom got there earlier. Tom was still done before they were getting there. And this went on. And everybody was just like, Tom, why do you always have to be that? And he's like, because mentally, I want to be the hardest working guy on the team. If I'm going to be the leader of the team, I want to be the hardest working. I want to lead from the front, not the back. I got the name. I got all the people that want me, but I'm going to be out front. I'm going to do more. And if you want to do more, I'm going to still do more than what you're doing. But that isn't where the story stops. You see, he did another thing that most professional athletes, most professionals, period, would never do. He took less money for winning. Look it up. You could find articles left and right. Before the renegotiations, Brady was already one of the best quarterbacks. He could have called his price and he would have got it with anybody. But before the renegotiations, Brady was scheduled to make $30 million through a couple of high salaries, okay? We all know he made a lot of money, but after he went and renegotiated this, that number became $33 million. Yeah, it went up $3 million, consisting of $30 million in signing bonus, the last deferred payment of which was paid in February, to the tune of $5 million, and salaries of $1 million for 2013, $2 million for 2014. Thus, the Patriots got better cap flexibility due to the prorated bonus, while Brady received significantly better cash flow and an extra $3 million to boot. Now, had the renegotiation ended there would have been nothing left, and there would have been nothing ordinary to even talk about. But that isn't where the story ends. However, the deal added an extension with out years, they call it, 2015, 16, and 17, at salaries of $7 million, $8 million, and $9 million, respectively. So as everybody knows, even if you know just a little bit about football, you would know that those are really low numbers for a quarterback of Brady's caliber. So why is that? I'll tell you. Brady gave so the rest of his players could get. That's what he did. He gave up not only money that he could have gotten in the cap, but he also gave up cash so that the team could make more money. He gave up money so that the team had more money to hire better players, so that his players that he had to throw the ball to could get paid more so they could attract higher talents. What other quarterback would give up money themselves so that their team could get paid more? Think about that. Well, I can tell you what other quarterback would do that. None. Because he's the only one that ever did that in history. Other quarterbacks have given up cap, but they've never given up cash. He did both. And some of you are thinking, yeah, that's because he made so much money. Listen, he could have made a lot more. But he didn't, because he gave up money so that his players and his team could go out there and be paid more, or have the ability to pay more for the talent. So when he had the ball, he's not a one-man show. He might be the best quarterback, but if you don't have somebody open out there to throw the ball to, you're nothing. He thought about the team, folks. The team came first. The team came before his paycheck. Number 5, and the last thing. You want to get really rich, really wealthy, really fast? This is the pinnacle. Solve a really big problem. Private Money Club. It's a company I created 2.5 years ago. Why did I create it? Well, because I saw a really big problem. I saw a really big problem in the real estate industry, but not just real estate. I saw it in every industry that had to do with money, and this was it. I realized that there's only 2 types of people out there in the world. There's people that have money. Some of you have money. What is your goal? What is the problem you have if you have money? You want to make more. I have money and I want to make more. So that's problem number 1. So if I could solve that problem, I'm already off to a good start. I realized there's the rest of the people out there. And those are the people that needed money to make more money. Think of real estate investors. They need money to buy that real estate. But I also realized that people that needed money had limited choices. They could go to the bank and the bank would run them through the gamut. They could go to a hard money lender where they'd be lied to and told false lies about what they're going to get and also pay a whole bunch in fees. But then I realized, hey, listen, there's only two types of people, people with money and people that need money. Really what we need is a place to bring these two people together. And then I had this epiphany, this moment where I'm like, wait a second, that's like a dating site. That's just like a dating site. A dating site, you got men and you got women and they got profiles and they come together and they communicate and they go out and they have a date and then they have another date and then they get engaged and they get married and they have kids. Holy crap. People with money and people that need money just need to date. They need to come together in a same platform that's just like a dating site, kind of like Tinder for money. Because on the app that we developed, it is swipe left, swipe right. You're looking through deals, you swipe right, yep, notifies the other person. You see, this whole thing, Private Money Club, is really just something that solves a really big problem for two different people. My problem was I didn't have a lot of really qualified people to lend my money to so that I could make more money, so I just created it. And lo and behold, I created PMC, Private Money Club. And in the future, you will see that will be a company that someday will be sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. It will have a valuation in the billions, folks. You don't have to believe me because I already know it to be true. And sometimes that mental clarity, that vision, that dream is what you need. And that dream better be so big it scares you. Folks, let's do a quick recap of these 5 things and let's get this thing in motion for you to start using. So the first thing I said to achieve rapid growth is you got to take care of yourself. You got to meditate, stay physically and mentally healthy. The second thing I mentioned is you got to get yourself hard. That's right. You got to get yourself ready for hard times because hard times create strong men and women. The third thing I said is do what others are unwilling to do. I always think of that Wall Street story when I came into the office and I saw all the really successful people and I just had to do what they were unwilling to do. Number 4, you got to build a team, and to build the right team of A players, you have to give so that they can get. Your team has to be paid. And that's the Tom Brady story. And the last thing is you better create something that solves a really big problem. And that is the key. Think about Private Money Club. I hope you enjoyed these 5 simple stories and these 5 lessons that you can apply in your life. And if you did, check this video out right here, how to generate passive income with no additional funds. Folks, go out there and do what everyone else is unwilling to do, and you will see success. We'll see you in the next one.